Well, g'day on this glorious Friday in Auckland. I'm here today with Andrew Kingstone, the Director of Gravity Credit Management. My name's Damien Grant from Waterstone. Andrew, we've got a few things coming up.
Yeah, it's obviously 2.5 months into the current lockdown here, and we're going to get green for go soon, hopefully. But yeah, we've got end of year function coming up, and we've had a very busy time with the collections at the moment. Although lower engagement than we'd like, the different level settings across the country has meant engagement with some of the debtors in the different parts of the country hasn't been as high as we'd like. Some of the companies we represent are adverse to taking the normal measures that they would in this situation. So it's really important.
Because I understand that Gravity's got a number of quite conservative, larger corporate clients. So how are they reacting, or what sort of instructions are you getting at the moment from your clients about how to handle that third-party collection processes?
With some clients, there's been absolutely no change, but you're quite right with the larger corporates that are very conscious of their position in the marketplace. They've really let us turn some of the calls into welfare calls, certainly upping the consideration around their position, their vulnerability. In some cases, we aren't able to do much other than just continue to work the debts we have. They're not actually referring things through to us. And then there is the clients that are just saying, look, guys, just get on with it. We're going to come out of this very shortly and push on. So we have to consider the debtor's position. We have to very seriously consider the client's position and their reputation. That's very important in the scheme of things. But generally, still getting referrals through from the small to medium-sized businesses that, the panel beaters, the dentists, those sorts of things are still coming through. So yeah, each day is very different.
Yeah, and because I guess it's relatively easy for your larger corporate clients to take that sort of approach, but it's much more difficult, isn't it, for the small to medium enterprises that really relies on those debtors at 90 and 180 days to pay. And so that must be placing some pressure on some of your smaller clients.
Yeah, look, and I think in the Auckland region more so, because obviously they're not, some of the industry types that we're referring to aren't operating, and they're chewing into their cash reserves. So their position is even, and not just the debtor's position, but the client's position is becoming a little more dire in some situations as well, because the collection of those outstanding debts at that later end of the repayment cycle, 80, 120 days, is very, very important, and we're just struggling to get some traction with those people. So it's not dire, but it's certainly causing some cash flow concerns for those smaller businesses.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, the other thing that we've got sorted out, so we've got a joint event on December the 3rd, our inaugural Soviet ball being held at St. Matthew's in the city. Look, it's fair to say we're not overly optimistic that event's going to go ahead, but
even with the green light from the traffic system.
Well, I don't even know on the current formulation of 90% whether we'll even get to the traffic lights on the 3rd of December. But nonetheless, we've booked it. And so it's at St. Matthew's in the city. It is with a Soviet theme, which is a bit tongue-in-cheek given the current settings. Not to say that we are in any way similar to what, of course, happened during that particular dark period in history. But it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. It's tentatively on December the 3rd. We're not optimistic it's going to go ahead unless things dramatically change. But we have it. We're locked and loaded. Barry Soper hopefully will be speaking if he can get out of Wellington.
That'll be a fantastic person to speak at the end of the year event. There's been a lot of things that he's seen this year that he wouldn't have seen in his time in Parliament, that's for sure.
Yeah, hopefully we will get to hold it in December rather than February. Well, it's not even sure whether we'll get out of Auckland at the end of the year for Christmas. So there's a lot of
Let's not go there, Damien. Let's not go there. All
All right,
right, but it's
all right,
fantastic. Yeah, 3rd of December, that'll be a fantastic evening, and look forward to seeing you all there.
all
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Andrew. Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye.